So there's three main ways that geopolitics is talked about in the literature. It's a huge body of literature, and so there's a lot of academic battling that's happening around geopolitics, but it generally falls in three main categories. The first one is about how geography actually affects politics. So the idea that England would be a maritime nation because they're an island, or that if you have mountains like in Finland, that most of your military would be based on skis. So it's a very deterministic way of thinking about the relationship of geography to politics, but it is out there, and this is the way that military geography in particular thinks about geopolitics, because they're thinking about how do you move troops, how do you move materials, are cities going to be along rivers, those kinds of things. The second way that it's often used is through geographical metaphors. So this idea of having the third world. So you have a first world, a second world, a third world, that you have a global north, a global south. Talking about the Iron Curtain. These kinds of spatial metaphors to try and understand political phenomena is another way that geopolitics is often used. When it comes to comics, it's a branch of geopolitical writing called critical geopolitics, and that's how geopolitics is actually about our geographic imagination, and how do what we think about other places change what we think should happen to other places in a political sense. So how is power understood geographically across the globe, and how that then changes what one government or a group of people would do because of that. Within this side of critical geopolitics, there's three main pieces to it. And this is formal geopolitics, practical geopolitics, and popular geopolitics. And the formal geopolitics is what academics do. It's what policymakers, think tanks, it's the people who think about it in a more abstract way. Whereas the practical geopolitics, this is the work of ambassadors, this is the work of the Secretary of State, this is the work of the people that are actually out there doing stuff. Popular geopolitics is where you sit, and where I sit in terms of my research. And popular geopolitics is about how we understand the world, but it's looking at how popular culture in particular is training the masses in how to think about the world spatially and politically. And this is where, like, you would be thinking about comic books, because it would be thinking about, well, how are we priming children or young adults to think about who are the good guys, who are the bad guys, what does it mean to be American, aka Captain America? What does it mean to be a billionaire inventor, aka Iron Man? Or, you know, what does it mean to be different, which is where you get the entire X-Men series.